That's something I never thought of. I think even when I was an artist, my assumption was kind of like, okay, one, I made the mistake of not buying the exclusive rights, number one. And even back in the day, I didn't even buy the version where you get the stems because I was a cheap ass, or I was broke, 20 years old or whatever, like, and I didn't notice. I was like, whatever, we just get the wave file and we're fine, and I'll rap over it. And it was like, what an idiot. Like, I didn't even get the stems. Like, that's number one. But then like number two was like, once I learned the difference and I had more money to get even the exclusive rights, I always kind of thought it was like, or say like the unlimited rights, the one right under exclusive. It was something like, yeah, you after 200,000 streams and after 200,000 videos, like it kind of had like levels within the lease, right? But I kind of guess what I thought would happen was, okay, well then, yeah, at 200,001 streams, I now owe him his 50%. And I kind of thought that's what it was. I never viewed it as like, oh, yes, I've reached 200,000 miles on my car. I have to re-up my lease. I never thought of it that way. Is that kind of what it is? Hey, I've reached my 200,000 limit. And if I'm going up more, I have to re-up my lease. It's another $500.
So think of it as 200,000 miles on a car. If you hit 200,001, that extra mile has
right. It's a quarter
attached to it. You're now paying, right. Yeah, you're now paying extra money every time, right? So if you don't pay that money, they're going to sue you.
Or like, yeah, send you to collections.
Entered into a deal.
Yeah.
And when they sue you, they're going to sue you for more than that money. They also, at that point, if you don't pay that money, you're going to lose your right to buy that lease and keep it going the way you want. Like, because you have an agreement. Like, a lease has an option. A car lease is a little bit different because you do have the flat option of buying it outright. People don't negotiate that in beat leases. So if you don't pay that money when it's due, according to the lease, the owner of the beat can pull that license from you immediately and take your song down.
Or, well, the thing is they're not going to take the song down. If it's ripping, they're going to say, well, hey, too bad for you. I now own 50% of the song. I hope it keeps going. Because if it's going, they're making money.
Well, that's in the,
they're going to threaten to take it down.
It could be even more than 50%.
Right. But if the song is ripping.
That's the thing with the lease.
I think almost well, actually, that's a good debate. Would it be worse for the song if the song was about to go and they took it down? Would that be worse than letting it go and now they own 50%? Probably better.
The threat of taking down an artist's song, it's only going to hurt the artist.
Well,
it's not going to hurt. Maybe they own 50%. It's up to the lease. If the lease originally negotiated was 20% after that, they don't want 20%. They want thousands of dollars. They could make way more by just going, nope, we're going to pull your song down unless you pay us this. And you also have to realize, you were saying you're like 200,000 and 200,000 views. Most likely it says
one,
and
or.
The other. And it's probably also they can combine them. So a lot of people are like, oh, 100,000 streams on Spotify. No, 100,000 streams total, which means anywhere and everywhere in SoundCloud, for example. Even if you're not getting paid, they still count towards your stream usually. The leases made correctly are protecting the producer.
Right.
If you don't negotiate it, it's like you're not negotiating a car lease. If you're just going on, I want that car, and they go, okay, sign this.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what these people are doing. That's what you're doing as an artist. Okay.
Yeah. Sweet.
You should be thinking as a business here. You are trying to get terms more favorable to you. This isn't just, hey, I want you to do a feature on my song. You're not, if I go to you and go, hey, I want to give you $500, sing on my song. Here you go.
La 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 la.
You're not going to say yes right away.
Sure I would.
Or you're going to say sure with no details attached. Sure, here's a verse. I've already made it for someone else.
If I can go skippity skip
Good
skip,
luck.
and then give me my $500.
Yeah, like that's kind of what you're doing. You have to realize if you're not negotiating, you're probably going to get screwed. Even the exclusive beats can be negotiated. Yeah. If you contact them, you have to. And a lot of people also think, oh, it's a marketplace, BeatStars. Like, If they're not willing to do it, find a different beat.
Yeah, right.
Ultimately,
There's a million of them.
or talk to someone, have them make something kind of similar to what you're feeling, or there's a lot to it. And I just think too many people accept it for, oh, I have to. This is just the way it is. This is the marketplace. I just have to. I'm just going to buy this. This is enough. Like, I'll be fine. That won't happen to me.
Well, unfortunately, most people don't have any leverage. So even if you do get in the weeds and you say, hey, I don't want this deal, the producer's going to say, pound sand. You know, I never viewed it that way as like, oh yeah, this is like a limit, and then your lease, you have to re-up the lease. I never thought of it. I was just like, oh yeah, after that number, I owe him 50%. Okay, cool. Good problem to have if my song's ripping up, right? But
because most of them are capped. It says you are buying the right to 200,000 streams. After 200,000 streams, then it will tell you what you have to do. You're not buying the right to 200,000 streams and then 50%. And you might be, but you have, that language is important. What are you actually buying the right to when you pay for that upfront cost? If you're only paying $30 for a beat, you can assume you're only buying the right to about $30 worth of something.
that's a good point.
Whatever you're paying is usually directly related to what you're getting out of it.